Now at this point in the implementation process, we've performed the initial configuration. The only thing we haven't done is brought in our systems and our accounts. So that's what we're going to do now. Now there are different methods on how to bring those systems in. The method we're going to demonstrate here is going to be the discovery process. So as you can see here, I'm logged in as Alex Foster, who is the system administrator. If I click under resources on systems, you'll notice that there are no systems. We also don't have any privileged accounts. And that's what we're going to be bringing in at this point. So in order to do this from a discovery perspective, we're going to go down to discovery and we're going to select systems and accounts. Now this is performed through separate profiles. The first profile we're going to use is going to be an Active Directory profile. So we're going to click Add Profile. And we're just going to call this one Domain Systems. The discovery method is going to be Active Directory, and we're going to select our domain administrative account to perform the discovery. Now additional settings that we can apply include the scope of that search, which means we don't have to search the entire forest. We can simply select a specific OU or a specific group membership. But for this demonstration, we're going to go ahead and select the entire domain. And we'll click Save. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run this discovery profile. So I'm going to right click and select Run. Now that's going to take a short period of time, but while it's running, we're going to go ahead and add a second profile. Now this second profile is going to be a network port scan. We're going to select port scan from our discovery method. And we're going to click Add. Now from here, we can select the scope to be a single IP address, a subnet, or an IP range. So we're going to go with an IP range. So I'm going to use a short IP range. And I'm going to need a discovery account. Now, I do know that this particular IP range is reserved for all of my Unix systems. And because I do have standardization with my sudoers and my administrative accounts, I'm going to go ahead and use a specific discovery account that happens to be an administrator that can read those systems. So I'm going to click Add, and I do have the option of selecting a domain account, or I can add a discovery account, which is what we're going to do here. So I'm going to click Add Discovery Account. I'm going to call this one Unix Admin. And under the username, I can use root, but I already have an account specified locally on all of my Unix systems. CFY admin. I'll supply the password. And we'll click Done. And now I will add the Unix admin to my list of discovery accounts and click Done. Now you can add multiple accounts if you happen to have a non-standard method of supplying those particular accounts on individual systems. But since I've standardized, I can use the single account. Now once again, I have the opportunity to use system profiles. I can import systems, DNS suffix, search lists, and so on. But this is a very simple search, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now as you can see here, the domain system profile has already completed. But let's go ahead and run the network port scan. Go ahead and click Run, and now it's running. Now while it's running, let's move over to where those systems are going to be stored. Right here under Resources, we'll click Systems. We'll go ahead and give this a refresh. And now as you can see, not only are my Windows systems in place, the network port scan has also found the two Unix systems that I have. So this method does work to discover systems very quickly. Now you can add them manually or import them using a bulk system import template, which is a CSV file that you can then add the system information to and then import them accordingly. But since we've completed the discovery, we won't be using either one of these methods. Now at this point, I can start to add individual shared privileged accounts to each of the servers. Now another method that I can use is through that discovery process. Now remember, when I perform my discovery, it's already found those systems. So I can create another discovery that's going to simply look for accounts. Or I can adjust my domain systems account and under Actions, select Discover Local Windows and Unix Accounts. We can add them to a set. We can limit the local account discovery to specific account names. So for example, if you have alternate administrative accounts, or the -A accounts as they're commonly called, you can add that mask into this option so it's only looking for those particular accounts. We can also look at services, scheduled tasks, and IIS application pools. Under additional actions, we can add discovery accounts as a system local account. We can add discovered systems to a set. We can add systems without known credentials to a set. And the same is true with discovered accounts. Now, I did run this profile already, which means it's only going to look at new systems. But I do have the capability of changing this option to say look at new and existing systems. So let's do that. Since the domain systems profile has already been run and we've discovered our systems, we want to look at those systems for any accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save. Now before we actually perform this discovery, let's go over and take a look at accounts once again. Now under accounts, this is where our privileged accounts are going to be located. You'll notice that there are no current accounts. But let's go ahead and rerun the domain systems profile, which has now been updated. Now we'll go ahead and go back to our systems. Nothing has changed here. Now if we go over to accounts, you'll notice that now we have accounts that have been discovered for us. These accounts are local accounts that exist on the system. Now we only look for domain system accounts because that's what our profile was set up to do. We can do the same thing for the Unix accounts. Under a network port scan discovery,